Glad. Let's see. I want a turn 3. What are my next 2 turns going to look like? I don't have a white source for the Warhorse, so I do like it, but I'd rather get full value out of this Braze's Frightful Return. We'll get in with Urg. If I can. Feel it to stream. I think that's why I like being a VTuber, is like, Urg for 0. Let's see what he thinks. Because he might block. I don't think he's going to block. But the risk of him having anything to follow it up is pretty low. And the goal is to confuse. There are going to be times when it's correct to attack with Urg. Usually they involve the Serpent's Tail. Hello, I just sent you a pack. Thanks for the follow and congratulations. You are my 500th follower. Very exciting. So I'm pretty excited. Thank you. Yeah. Sometimes you got in with the Gilded Goose. It is relevant sometimes in this format too because of timely interference. Not against this guy. But if he had decided to block for some reason, I could have sacked the land. Thank you. Yesterday I was like 2 away from 400, so this is a pretty big surprise. A very pleasant one. Do I need this? I don't need this. Actually, this gives me a much better turn. So I'll keep the Loam Speaker. Draw the Loam Speaker. I want to Broken Wings there. So we're just going to straight up go for the grind. So King Darien is going to be really hard to outgrind, and I am saying, hey, I am going to draw a removal spell for you, because if I don't, he just gets to keep churning out creatures, and that's going to be a problem. I don't always like Braze's Frightful Return, but I do with the Vine Walls. It's King Darien the 48th, right? XLV 3. Yeah, 48th. King Darien the 48th. Hey, Serpent's Tail. Aw, that's sweet. But I always will appreciate you as followers, but you do not need to follow for me to like you. The Lone Speaker's solid. It's essentially a dork in this format, but dorks are good in this format. Being able to add 1 mana of any color. 3 toughness means that it takes a lightning strike and not just a flowstone. Well, I can't remember, flowstone something. And it lets me attack for 3 a turn. Like, think of it as a 2 mana, 3 power attacker. It just takes an extra mana to do so. But the Loam Speaker plus the Barricade represents a lot of card advantage. Feed your lands in to draw a card, which is better than gaining life. I did post my playlist. That's a problem. I gotta kill her. So all the text on this is irrelevant except First Strike, Vigilance, and Lifeline, which is a lot of relevant text. I did, but no worries. There's the Grotto. Pick up my Warhorse, and I can kick it. Aw, thanks, dog. I like the cheering system. I want the braid sleeve from the Mastery Pass. It's the first time I really wanted a cosmetic from the Mastery Pass. I mean, from the free one, at least. Alright, if I animate and then kick, I can animate a land, attack. I do need to play a land. If I animate a land and attack with it into Danitha, Danitha blocks, but I don't have enough mana to Broken Wings and kick a tribute. So we're just going to kick the Warhorse. Okay, I do have enough to use both of these. I think I have to kill this and just accept I'm going to take some damage from Danitha. So, Broken Wings. Because if I let him untap with... he'll get to make a token. And it's only 1 token, but, like, that's pretty relevant. I'm going to use... This is another nice thing about Loam Speakers. You can use your off-color kickers. Like, I'll play Tribute to Urborg if I'm only black, but I like having access to blue mana somewhere in the deck. I mean, he can sack it, but it doesn't do anything. Next turn, I can kick a Warhorse. So the plan here is kick the Warhorse to make a token. The token's going to chump Danitha, and then I'm going to eat the token with the Barricade. And I'm just going to grind out this Danitha. I'm going to make sure my creatures die before he gains life until I draw a removal spell. And I get to draw a card plus scry, well, surveil with Urg, and then hopefully draw a second card with the Barricade most turns. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So land does let me kick the Warhorse and eat the token with my Barricade, but I'm going to take 8 to not do that. So I'm spending 8 life points in order to figure out what, well, in order to draw some options. Hey, Nostalgia, I'm kind of surprised you're awake, but I'm glad to see ya. Man, he's still attacking here. I'm just chumping with Urg. He might spend a spell to kill Urg, and that's fine. But eventually, Urg will be big enough to block Danitha. He's just going to have gained a lot of life at that point. Alright. Like, this is phenomenal design to me. Like, this is a block of text that is not relevant and limited. Doesn't drastically hurt not limited formats. I think it's correct to hit the Barricade, but he might just hit Urg. Like, Urg does block, but the Barricade is what's letting me grind this game out. They're both good options, though. Nice. Ooh, so +3/+3 does put me up to a 5/5. I'll keep that. Alright, give me my card. I did feel a little bad that Herix couldn't be here, but maybe he'll catch that on the VOD. Herix, I'm sorry you're not here. I'm scared. Why did he sacrifice Danitha to avoid me drawing a card? What do you have? Right. So this is an insane decision. So why would he make it? Why would he make it this way? Is he holding Swamp and Urborg Uprising? Did he misread Braids' Sprite? Dang it. I don't know his ranks. I don't know if he just misread Braids' Frightful Return. Okay. I'm not good at accounting for other people's mistakes, just my own. But I hope you're right. Maybe he's about to wipe the board? What would he wipe the board with? The only board wipes are really red and black. Oof. That was just an interface issue. They clicked something. If I kick this for 5, then I have 2 creatures to sack to the Warhorse. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this because it also fills out my domain. So white. Make sure I keep green up and as much black mana as possible. There we go. Alright, I need plains? Yeah, plains. So now my root wall turns into a 6/6. Oops, not that. I need this one to declare my attackers. So I can sack 2 creatures, which I'm willing to just eat 2 creatures to trade with this Acolyte, because I'm so far ahead on board after that. Don't be afraid to spend your value when you're ahead. Hey, Bear! Wonderful! I'm so glad to have you. Nice to meet you, Bear with the Feds. That is just an aesthetic that I can respect. Thank you. I'm just doing a warm-up game of Sealed, and then I'm going to switch over to Draft. And I'm 4-0 currently with a very busted deck. The last 2 decks I won with were like so grindy and weird, and this one is just high power. Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you here. Alright, well, Forest is what I don't need, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 1 activation of Urg and the Brute Wall, so I'm not going to play the land. It's still the deck from last night. Thanks, dog! I realized that I hit rank 1 and then didn't have another MTG stream scheduled until next Monday. And I'm working late the next 3 days. And Sunday, I'll try and squeeze him in. Okay. I mean, taking it is probably correct, but it still hurts. I'm gonna play this out, and we're gonna just eat it on end step. I could have done that. I should have eaten this land on my turn, because it's not like I can represent anything. If they had Commander in this game, I would be ecstatic. Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, the domain decks can just win sometimes. Like, sometimes, the domain decks that people fell into are usually manageable. Like, they're fair decks. But the domain decks where they first pick, like, the herd migration and second pick a Jodas and then just grab lands, and then they get to play the best card in every pack, those decks are scary. That would be great. VTuber pods would be a lot of fun, actually. I want to get a VTuber draft league going. That's down the line a bit. Well, you watched Pokemon Direct today? Or I guess yesterday. How was it? I'm curious. It's going to happen eventually, but you don't know when. Ooh, Rada's good here. I'll take that. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I can activate the Root Wall, but I can't activate the Root Wall and make a 3/3 and play Rada. So we're just gonna get in. So the ITA does a streamer draft league, but the timing doesn't quite work out for me, because I tend to work Wednesdays. But I do love his draft league. All of us playing in it right now will probably be by a little later. Nope, I want white, green, black, red. Alright, so there's 6. So I have 3 damage from Urg here, and I could activate it twice to get 2 additional points of damage. But that doesn't actually increase my clock. Yeah, I kill them at the exact same speed if I activate Urg to sacrifice 2 lands, which means I'm going to spend this time playing Rada. And Rada is really important here because it means that if he doesn't play another attacker... Oops. Dude, alright, I'll be right back. And then we'll get started on this draft. Okay, sorry about that. I spilled water all over myself. But I'm back now, and all is well. Alright, let's get started on this draft. I kind of like being surprised by the card styles. But I decayed all the way to number 3, which isn't... It's not really ranked decay, it's people climbing in ahead of you. So I gotta change my stream title so I'm not a liar. Alright, so this is my deck. It's very strong. I first picked this Archangel of Wrath, and then opened the Defiler Faith in pack 2. So my general game plan is to grind out an early advantage with just I put on the early pressure with my 2-drops are going to be better than their 2-drops. I can be pretty sure of that. And then I have a little bit of removal. My removal is pretty limited. Yes, 2 rafts. This was the draft where we read the table well enough to table the raft. We cut white really hard, and then we picked Geyser over, I cut white really hard and then picked Geyser over a few other options. I do not remember the other option. But then we got raft to come back around. I took the Resolute Reinforcements. And then I'm on 3 Espionage, but I have 3 Espionage, but I cut the second Espionage for the Mesa Cavalier, just keep a little extra pressure on. I might swap these. Yeah. Alright, I'm going to swap the Cavalier for the Vanguard, just because I so often get to the point where it's like, I just want Raph. I need Raph off the top here, because I have so many bodies. Yes, so the thing about the Archangel is it's got lifelink. Like, a 4-mana 3/4 lifelink is already a slam dunk bomb. And the fact that I can kick it for red and kill a creature is awesome. I think, yes, I do consider this card to be the best rare in the set. If you are not playing Mardu, full red, white, black, then it lose a little bit of value, but really not much. Alright, here we go. Yeah, I think it's the best rare in the set. So I was really ecstatic when I'm like, we're going for number 1, and then I opened the best rare in the set for limited. They don't know you yet, dog. I limit. I do accept requests for song skips, by the way. I like my music, but I like most of it. And I will take song skips. And after today, I'm going to set things up so I can play my own actual music. It does take a bit to find a game in number 3. But I think the number 1 the guy who took it from me was also on Reddit. Very good. I played against him a few times. He's very good. But I'm ready now. I'm not a Hololive character, if only, Necro. How's it going? No, I'm Scuffle. I'm an independent VTuber. I like doing my own thing. I do like Hololive, but I'm not as deep into that culture. Alright. So, Charismatic Vanguard on its own is not a good enough 3-drop, and I'm treating it like a 5-drop most of the time. If I had 2 colors, I'd keep this on the back of the Geyser. But I don't, so we're throwing it back. There's my Archangel. I have all my colors. I'm going to put back the Vanguard because I'm only running the Vanguard as an extra Wrath. So here I have a turn 2 Wrath. I might Citizen's Arrest turn 3, but I'm only going to do that if I'm actually scared of the threat they deploy. But a turn 2 Wrath goes a long way. Buy short. Alright, removal heavy. So this is why Citizen's Arrest is still solid, but it's not as good as it is in other sets because it doesn't trigger the instant sorcery synergies off of Wrath. Oh, I gotta remember to slide over this time. That's something that Reddit was not happy with. Was me being too far to the right. Alright, so if he didn't have blue-black specifically up, I would be a lot more interested in playing out this Wrath. This Archangel of Wrath. But he is holding up Essence Scatter, and I want to keep this alive. This is going to be how I'm trying to win this game. I'm going to try and get one more land and put down the Archangel and Wrath, or just wait for him to tap out. This is worth shoring up because it keeps my creature in play and means that they don't get to draw a card. And them not drawing a card is pretty big here. I love the Scuffle or the Hololive models. I learned the thing that I do differently from a lot of VTuber appreciators is I don't appreciate them all. I really like Amelia because she's really good at games. But most of the people I tend to like because they do something really well. Alright, so what do they have? They have blue, black, red, green, so it's not worth putting too much effort into speculating on what he's got, but he also can't pump this, which means that if I just play a Plains and attack, then I get this threat of activation on Wrath. So if he blocks, I get to pump it. No, that's awesome. Hey, Duo! Alright, so if he wants to kill us in response, he can. This card's really scary, but he tapped his mana wrong. He tapped white, black, white, white, so he can't represent it. Ooh, all right. I'm okay with him spending a shore up here. I kind of thought it was a Colossal Growth, 2 mana +3/+3. Guessing, it's always a good idea to guess your opponent's tricks, even if you're wrong. You'll remember it better. She's so good at those games. She's not like the best strategist, but like just in terms of trigger finger, so good. And then Calliope Mori has legitimately a fantastic music. That's a strange attack, but okay. So, Runic Shot is a weird card, especially when I know it's there. Because I don't mind leaving my blockers back and just attacking. But now that I know he has the Runic Shot, I'm just going to give everything Vigilance. I didn't need to attack, but it doesn't actually matter. I like Ina, but I don't... I'm not an artist, you know? I appreciate her art. I think she's really good, but I don't always like watching her draw. Thanks. Now, I designed Scuffle on... Well, actually, Janelle Senpai, my artist, designed Scuffle, but I just really like games. So I tried to make a character who fit how I felt about game. So, I don't want my Archangel to become tapped, but I also don't want him to be able to do this. So instead of what I've been doing, I'm going to kill this now before it becomes an issue. Phew. Excuse me. No attacks. I'm not giving my Archangel up to this Runic Shot. This is really cool, though. Like, Micromancer showing the Runic Shot makes it really difficult for me to let any of my creatures be tapped. But Wrath is a pretty hard counter. So if you're running Micromancer, how many 1-mana spells are you comfortable going down to? Like, for me, it's 2. Alright, if I attack with both of these for 7, he has to block. He does not have to block. That's fine. I just need to keep everything vigilant. 7 in the air. He can block and draw a card and maybe get a removal spell. So I actually tried to make my 5-colored point for the 5 colors of MTG. And, right, so there's a lot of good 1-mana spells, but what I'm saying is we can deduct his deck down a little. So we know he is a Micromancer. So with Micromancer, he's probably running 1 Shore Up, 1 Runic Shot, and he's not running Rona's Vortex because he would have grabbed Rona's Vortex with the Micromancer. Same with Tail Swipe. So, chances are I don't think he's running Flowstone because you have to be pretty base red for that. So he's probably running Strength of the Coalition as a pump spell. Which means that if I attack here and he blocks, he will be... Wait, 3, 4, 5. I don't quite have lethal. Still... I'm just going to activate and attack with just my Archangel. That way I can present lethal next turn. Good thing, Plastic. You can lurk if you want, if you don't want your computer to go to sleep. And you're always welcome. Thank you. Alright, so that puts me at 34 and him to 2. So I can be pretty reckless on my next few attacks. And I haven't been spending cards to hit him. So there's his second flyer. So I'm just going to kill his Magnagoth sentry and go in with both my attackers. I'm just making sure I'm tapping right. Yep. So he has to either have a counter spell or a removal spell here. Good game. Alright, so we're still number 3. Let's see how many wins it takes. So it took, what, 4 wins in a row to climb from number 3 to number 2 last time? Let's see if we can keep this going. So I see some new faces. If you have any questions or you want to know anything, don't hesitate to ask. I try and talk through everything. But I want to help everybody understand. That's the goal here. Anyone can hit Mythic. That's a nonsense question, Duo. I haven't lost in, like, so long. And I will eventually. Ooh. Might be one of the lands. There's a few really beautiful, like, pieces. We'll go through a little. Like, the 2-mana 1/1 that makes a soldier is, like, just such a stunning moment. And Attercoace is good. I like this land a lot. The 2-mana 1/1 that makes a soldier, like, I like the ones that depict a moment in time, which tend to be spells, but, like, a lot of them this time are the creatures. Jerry of your peers. This one, Resolute Reinforcements. I think this is such a fantastic moment. Spell for Time is pretty cool, too. So is the Guardian of New Benalia. I do tend to like the ones with flavor text the most. What's your rank now, J1? How you doing today? Good to see ya. So getting to start on the Guardian is pretty big, but if he leads on a blue source, if he has a turn 2 blue source. Okay, so no turn 2 blue source. So we're just going straight down with the Guardian, because once it's down, it's really hard to kill because people aren't running Citizen's Arrest as much. Different Reaver is really nice. I like this one a lot. It's such, like, so very evocative set of feel. Ooh, okay, so we're going to try and win. So drawing Heroic Charge puts us right onto the Heroic Charge plan. Let's just attack and see if he wants to trade Toxic Abomination for a random card in my hand. Nope, and that's fair. Now we're going to put down my Drake and keep the pressure on. So I'm looking to race. Toxic Abomination is a very strong aggressive card, but otherwise it's a bad race. It's just a bad racer, and you don't want this to be your 2-drop in the Domain deck. You only really want it to be your 2-drop, not even in black-red aggro. You mostly want it, it's mostly a black-white aggro card. So I could enlist just to scry, but I don't have strong feelings about what I'm drawing next. I just drew my red source. So I'm going to put down the Tributary here, and then end step Resolute Reinforcement. If he blocks, I'm going to discard my land. I'm looking to do a lot of work with Stall for Time and Heroic Charge. So with Heroic Charge, the trick is to add, it's +2/+1, right? Do I care about this? Only mildly. Does that change my turn at all? It does not. I'm just putting down the Tributary, and then I will start listing. You'll get there, J1. Jim Reeve is so nice in this. I could put both of these down and block, but I'd rather push through. I get hit for 4 this turn. Oh, even better. More efficient if I just stall for time now. Yeah. More mana efficient this way. I want to enlist my Guardian because it's the same amount of damage. I get a scry 2. What am I looking for? Just bodies, really? Yeah, I don't need either of these. I'm putting both on the bottom. The next turn, I'm looking to either pick Heroic Charge to kill them, or if more likely, he'll play a creature, and I'm going to play Citizen's Arrest, Phyrexian Espionage, and keep attacking. Ow, this hurts, but I'm okay. I'm taking 8. So if he has another one, I'll die. So I have lethal this turn, though. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So only if I could kill this and charge, which I cannot. Alright, I leave back 1 blocker in case of another Myria's Outrider. In that case, I might as well Espionage first. Nice. Alright, so that'll be a nice follow-up. So if I don't get the kill next turn, I'm okay with that. So 8, 13, another Outrider is lethal. But if I block here, it's only 10. So then I am hitting for 3 this turn, puts him to 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I do have exactly lethal with the Heroic Charge. If I leave back 1 blocker. It's really cool. Okay, so this lets me play the Tolarian Terror and a Resolute Reinforcements next turn, and go for a win the turn after that. It's really cool, duo. I think it makes Mono Justice a thing. Because I was running Mono Justice before, and it was really, really close. So he attacked with a Toxic Abomination when I wouldn't have. If he attacks with both, that tells me he's just trying to kill me with the Myria's Outrider, or a Gaia's Might. Gaia's Might is also possible. But there's a few ways to deal 5 damage when you have 5 domains, so it's worth playing around those. Yes, but then they printed so many cards that made it worse, duo. Alright, can I play both of these? So this is going to hit me for as much as 7, but I don't think I can do anything about that. If I swing with both, neither will punch through with the Heroic Charge. So I have to play this not in a way that I want to, which is Terror Pass. And he can hit me if he has a Gaia's Might or the Outrider. I do die here. Look at me. If he has it in his top 5, if he has the Outrider in his top 5 cards, I'll die. But I'm warded. That means that all I have to do is live. Okay. This is key this turn. So I'm taking 2 here and 5 here. And I can Resolute Reinforcements. And I need Guardian Reinforcements to live here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I need 2 attackers to get through. I need for this to not be here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then block, block, block. So I am taking 2, 5, 6 damage and going to 1 life here. And then I'm cracking back for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 exactly. Destructible. Like, if he hits a land and plays a creature here, I lose. Oh, no, no, no. Yes! Ooh, hoo, hoo. This is a close one. I'd be mad if I were them. Math. OP! Math is the strongest card in Magic. Hi, puppy. Hi, puppy. Alright, there's number 2! Here we go, let's keep it up. Alright, it took 2 wins to get from 3 to 2. Let's see how many it takes to get from 2 to 1. And unfortunately... Thank you! Oh, someone decided that was worth a follow. But I can't see who because I updated my stream info. I'm sorry. Thanks, Arbs. Appreciate it. That was a fun one. All right, last round. Let's see if we can make it a 7-0. Thanks, Arbs. Magic's hard. Like, you can judge a format by how often you win with 1 life left. Like, that is how marginal that was. Oh, it's so close. I think I can keep this on the draw. Everything cantrips, and I just get to set them back. Like, I have 4 cantrips, 3 lands. And I am looking to timely interference whatever he plays this turn. Nice to meet you, Arbs. That was a good game. I've been, like, all the games in this set have been so good. They are important, but, like, you have to make sure that you are... Okay, so now I am not using... Okay. Rager, Sleeper, Citizen's Arrest. Okay, that's fine. So I'm changing my mind about using the timely interference as an end step, because I want to be able to timely interference after I block. Not this turn. Oh no! That's a huge problem. Let's go ahead and answer that now. Hope that he doesn't follow it up. Doldrin's a bomb in this format. Like, you get to just keep it alive. We're the control deck this time. It's really important to figure out whether you're the control deck or the aggro deck in any given game in this format. So this is why timely interference is so good. You have to plan around it a little bit. Like, the life is important, but that's because it's a resource you can spend. I'm just gonna kick the stall for time. Or I can take 5. If I take 3 from the Warhorse, put down the Drake. Okay, it's more important that I get power down right now. I should have tapped Everly to better represent Essence Scatter. You always want to represent Essence Scatter, even though this deck has 0 Essence Scatters. Yeah, this does make things awkward. Oh dear. Alright, you can't get back shouldered at least. That's a good get though. Oh, but that's a great draw. Alright, so I'm going to represent Shore Up. First I'm going to attack for 4. Alright, so my Drake's plus Heroic Charge is 8 damage, which means that I have him on a 3-turn clock, but he thinks I have him on a 5-turn clock. 4-turn clock. So I'm going to use this charge wisely, and unfortunately he does gain the life here. Taking 5, possibly 6, 7, going to 5. Then I have so much tempo. All right. So blocking like that makes it hard for him to kick the Benelash Sleeper, which is planning ahead a bit. Ooh, 2 sleepers. So I get to block the sleepers well and stall both of these for time. And unfortunately, I don't want to Geyser yet. I just want to stall them for time. 4. So we can sort of predict the next few turns. Like, he's got some amount of removal, maybe some good creatures, we'll see. But I'm going to attack for... I'm going to stall for time, kicked, tap both of these, attack for 4, put him to 8. Then he's going to leave these back because he's going to want to attack through them. Although, if he does attack, we know he has an Inspired Charge or a Joined Forces, something that he's willing to trade for 2/1/1. Stalling for time. And I'm going to put him to 4. And I'm going to block, and I'm going to put him to 0 with this Heroic Charge. Whatever he plays this turn is probably going to matter, but I'm just going to Geyser it. And he thinks he has 3 turns to recover, and he's going to play accordingly, which means he's probably going to spend some time on using the Soul Tender to just pick up his Rager and try and keep his card advantage up. He thinks he's the control deck. Aww, that's so lame. And then he's going to Soul Tender it back. Okay, that's a great draw, though. I love Wrath. Alright, I've got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 damage here. So if I attack with everything and he doesn't block, I can Heroic Charge and deal 10, puts him to 2. So if I deal 10, I can't then Geyser. So I'm just going to attack with the Drake. And play a Wrath. Kick a Geyser. Gain that life. Important right now, because this Warhorse is about to hit. So that was a really bad move on my part, because he can stack it in response. So I shouldn't have kicked it. That was a mistake. I forgot about the Warhorse just because it was tapped. That was a misplay, and we're going to recover. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I do have enough to Heroic Charge and Geyser here. Three, 6, 10. We're going to try and steal a win here. It didn't hurt to kick it, but I could have held up. I represented Shore Up earlier, and by kicking it recklessly, I say, hey, I don't have Shore Up. So it sends information that he may not even be reading, but it's still a misplay even if it doesn't cost me anything, and pointing it out helps me not do it again. I would still have played it because I need to deal with the 3/1. I really wanted that card. But I wouldn't have kicked it. I could have also drawn a Shore Up too. So it's a minor misplay. This Captain. How you doing today, Chuck? Thanks for being here. I'm always surprised when people show up for unscheduled streams, but it's cool to see ya. Did you finish the It Is event? I was really curious about it. Probably getting the Rager. Yeah, I fell down. I fell all the way to number 3, so I gotta climb again. Oh. That's not how I expected that turn to go at all. Alright. I think I'd rather hold the Geyser for now and just Citizen's Arrest. No, I'm gonna Geyser. And go for it. Ooh, he let it go back because he, it's not a bad idea to let it go back. Yeah, so Heroic Charge is important for turning 4 damage into 10 damage. Alright, and we are 7-0. Let's see if that gets us there. Dang. Alright, we gotta draft again. Alright, so 2 wins wasn't enough to get us from 2 to 1. It was a fun one. Alright, so we got our 7 wins. This is a really strong deck. Let's see if we can get something this strong again. Thank you. Let's see if we're just going to go again right away and see if we can get that #1 rank. Oh, I should have taken a deep breath first. Gotten everything ready. All right, fresh draft. Now you can see how I draft. All right, so vanilla rare. Domiaria is cool, but she's not that strong. Like she doesn't. There's no artifacts in this set, so she's really just a 3-mana 3/3. That if you put a lot of work in, you can sometimes get a card out of, but it's hard to do that in red-green. I think the Battlewing Mystic and the Writhing Necromass are both worth a first pick. I'm just looking at the rest of this pack. What else have we got? We have Brazen Fireball Return is solid. It's not worth it. It's a lot of work. I could also just take the Root Wall and try and force Domain, or the Illusionist for the same reason. I think what I'm doing is taking the Battlewing Mystic, and I'm going to try and table this Pixie Illusionist. But I'll learn a lot by what comes back around. I don't think the Necromaster will come back around. People have caught on to how good that card is. But the Amplifier might, and the Illusionist might, and the Root Wall might. Doing that thing. Confused, but okay. So I can take the Wrath. So wait, what did I just take? The Battlewing Mystic. So if I didn't just take the Battlewing Mystic, I'd take... If this were an actual Terra Sunder, I would take Terra Sunder. But I have a Battlewing Mystic, so I'm taking Wrath. And then we've got white, blue, green. So the Atrocity is a good card, so that's going to get snapped up. Someone's going to be in red for one of these cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I might get a land or a Soaring Drake out of this pack. I'm probably looking at a flyer. I will once I catch up on my picks. Thank you. Blue, black, so I can take Extinguish the Light. Artillery Blast. I've got light red card. There's just a lot of black cards in this pack. I think I take black and hard pivot because I'm okay just running a little bit of stuff for the... No, there's no... It's not... Extinguish Light is the only really strong black card. So I'm going to take either the Aquifer or the Soaring Drake. I'm going to take the Soaring Drake. Outer card waits, take up the shield. Sunlit Marsh and Radiant Growth are both good, but with Wrath, I want protection early. So I'm going to grab him. Alright. Let's fix that. It really throws me off to an embarrassing degree. Alright, there we go. So we're looking at a white-blue flyer tempo deck, and I'm okay switching white over to a splash color or blue over to a splash color. Let's see, pick 5 is a little late for a Phyrexian rate. I didn't mean to double-click that. I just wanted to highlight it. But that's fine. I'm okay with a Rager. I like being base 2 colors and splashing everything else because it gives me fewer relevant or more relevant picks. I get more lands that way. I mean, it's a mess, but it's not a bad mess so far. Battlewing Mystic is fine if you're just blue. Like a 2-mana 2/1 flyer is good enough, and if you get to kick it every once in a while, it's great. Like a 2-mana 2/1 flyer on turn 2 is great. And a 2-mana 2/1 flyer on turn 10 is less great, but being the option of kicking it is huge. Too early for a captain's call? I don't think it is too early for a captain's call because I've got Wrath. I've also got the Aquifer here. I'm gonna take the captain's call though. Let's... Yeah. This is just a bad pack. Wow, very bad pack. Lots of bad cards. I'm gonna take Joint Exploration. Like... I could just take the Drawbridge. I'm not likely to play the Drawbridge, but like if I get the thing that makes the birds, I'm gonna be glad I had it. So like Drawbridge is on the chopping block, but if I open the 0/3 that makes a bird for defenders, then I like that card a lot in this deck. You only need to be able to make a few cards, a few creatures with it. Like this is not a Coral Wall Mill deck. This is a potential tokens deck, and so I want a wall that makes tokens. And I'll grab it if I can. Like, I'm committed to white, a little less committed to blue, and Rager is a card I'm fine splashing. Like, it's no Inspiring Overseer, but it's still a great card. Metalworker or Illusionist? I'd rather have the Illusionist. I do love combat research. I guess if I already have Battlewing Mystic, I want to be the combat research deck. I'll take combat research. Not particularly happy about it. Wall, land. That's a really late Writhing Necromass. Like, that's late enough for me to take. Like, I will read this as a signal. I'm taking the Necromass as a signal. I'm taking it over the Aquifer, and I am sad about passing the Aquifer. That's just a lot of late lands. I'll take a Drake. This is going to be, unlike the decks I've been playing lately, we are playing a fair game with this deck. Like, Necromass is a card that gets strong in multiples. Same with the Serpent. Hey, oh. That's a tough one. Take the Connoisseur. All right, and then accept that I'm accepting that I may not end up white off that signal. Like, Connoisseur is a really strong creature. You need to be able to trigger it once. Academy Wall isn't what I want, but Impulse is a solid cantrip. I want Essence Scatters to go with it. Like, Impulse plus Essence Scatter plus Take of the Field. These two mana instants are really, they work really well together because you want to be able to hold up mana without arousing suspicion. Ooh, Haunting Figment is solid, but Roan is pretty good in this style of deck. You do tend to have extra cards. Like, it's mostly going to be a 4-mana 3. But sometimes you just need to turn your extra 2 lands into a free card. Meteorite is not worth running unless you have artifact synergies, which are hard to get. I mean, I'm already blue and black. And now I need red. I've stacked them in a particular way and fiddle around. So I try and organize them into relevant piles. So Solkanar is a good enough card to splash. But like, Curve is the first one. And then I keep my removal together. And then I try and put things by expected point that I play them on the curve. So like, Combat Research is only 1 mana, but because all of my flyers are 3, I'm not likely to play it until turn 4. So I want to try and think through when I'm playing everything, not just on cost. But like, Writhing Necromass is usually going to be a 5 mana 5/5. But like, some of them are going to be a 4 mana 4/4s. Hey Gruul, I'm really sorry that I'm not Gruul here. I am going to splash red for this Solkanar, if that helps. And thanks for the follow. Alright, so that solidly puts white on the chopping block, and I may end up running Wrath anyway. Essence Scatter is what immediately stands out. Mill card is fine. Lands are usually good. And Espionage is a fine card, but none of them are better than Essence Scatter. Like, Essence Scatter plus Impulse is a solid 1/2. Ah, I'm so glad. Oh, I need to write one. Well, one thing we do here on Twitch is if you want a story, you can redeem points, but you don't really have to redeem points. Redeeming points just makes me drop whatever I'm doing. If there's a card you want to hear about, or a tournament, or a format, I can tell you a story from it. That's one of my Magic. That's one of the things that I have in Magic. Never. I really am sad when I don't get to play Wrath, so I'm not going to take him all the way out. Alright, this card, Eerie Soul Tender, you could get them last pick until a few days ago. Now you gotta take him early if you want him, and I do want him because I have this Necromass, and I took that signal. Vortuck I'd be more interested in if I had been taking more of the lands in pack 1. This is me paying for it. But I'm pretty happy with the Soul Tender here. It's just a 3/1 that tends to trade, come back later, and turn on the Necromass. I am looking for like an Urborg Uprising even without green, just for that raise dead, so that I can mill myself and pick up the Sultanah. Yeah, so what Gruul is referring, I'm sorry. Oh wait, you are pro Gruul, because not Gruul then die. Okay, what Gruul is referring to is I tell stories from my competitive past on Magic Arena. Oh my god, that's a really late Balmor too. A card's so good. I think I just need a removal right now though. Badly. Shivering Barricade and Balmor are both cards I want, but I can't really pass up this tribute at the moment. Right now we're blue-black with a red splash. I'm keeping my threats together based on when I expect to be able to play them. All right, so my very first draft ever. Oh, hey, Wingmantle Chaplain. Nope, I'm not that deck anymore, but I am a combat research deck, so I'm taking this Battle Wing Mystic, and I do want to shore up in this. So, in my very first draft ever, okay, I got a good one. So, Invasion Standard, Invasion Planeshift Apocalypse was a weird format, and I was very young at the time, and I was playing Burn. And in Mercadian Masks, there was a card called Blood Oath, and Blood Oath, hang on, this is going to be easier if I pull it up. Come on, computer. All right, so this is relevant because back to, in this format, we have... Oh, thanks for the follow! Thanks for the follow, Lock. Galarian Terror, Monstrous Warleech, or Protect. I'm going to go with the Terror over the Warleech, but it's close. All right, let me pull up this card so I can tell this story. I got to get the right art. Which takes a long time for Fact or Fiction because it printed a lot. That's a really late Geyser, and I'm going to take it over Timely Interference, which I also badly want. This isn't really an Amplifier deck because red is a very light splash. So I'm going to take this Shadow Prophecy, but I'm limited on how many Divination style effects I want. Then none, so I'll take Founding of the Third Paths. Card's weird. But Splatter Goblin does a lot of work. It's a great 2-drop. Oh, wait, get you Amplifier? Okay. We are doing... This is my very first big tournament. It was like a Grand Prix. Oh my god. Okay. That's just an important thing to note. A really late Chaplain. Alright, what have we got? Just the Illusionist. I think it is just the Illusionist. It's just like the Horde Master. I don't have any goblins for, and I don't have any red splash. Like I'm running. I'll run a mountain if I have to. We're just gonna take the Pixie Illusionist, and normally I would take the Drake, but I've got enough 3s right now. Infantry is a bomb. It's a really good card to see. I'm gonna take Contaminated Aquifer and be sad about it. There were just no playables in that pack. So I'm going fast so I can tell this story. Alright, so the premier best draw spell for the longest time was Fact or Fiction. The Fact or Fiction, you may notice, if you have a... there's a Sphinx in this set that does this effect. Another Goblin Lord. I just want Shore Up. Battlefly Storm is fine here. I'm going to take the Shore Up. This is a 3-mana 3/3 with Menace, which is fine. But I'm willing to splash for a Lightning Strike. Oh. Oh no. I need this land more than Lightning Strike. This is why we take our lands early, so that you can take your Lightning Strikes here. Alright. The Fact or Fiction is an interesting card. It tends to do one of two things. It either gives you strict card advantage with 3 cards, because your opponent's usually going to split them 3-2. Or... I think I want another Illusionist. Up with my colors. Up with my red splash. So you're either usually going to take 3 cards, or your opponent is going to... Or you're going to take the most important card, whatever you need to win that turn. Taking that Knight. Wow, that's a late Knight. Yep. So, my opponent played Fact or Fiction, and he was a real jerk, that guy. I was very young at the time, and this is my first Grand Prix. This is round one of a Grand Prix. It's like so cool. I've never seen people like this. I've never seen anything, and I was in awe. And I'm like, oh my god, sir, this is amazing. We're playing in a Magic tournament, and there's 1,000 people here. I've never done anything like this. And he's like, okay, cool. And he was like, kind of not very nice about it. And finally, and I took this really hard because I was, a kid. This is my first Magic tournament. This is my first really big Magic tournament. And he says, okay, I'm going to factor fiction in a turn. And I played dumb. And I'm like, that's a cool card. So I can divide the piles however I want. And he's like, you sure can. And I said, and he turned over 5 lands. And I'm like, that's awesome. You just get to draw 5 lands? And he says, no, you make the piles. And I said, but I can put all the lands in one pile. And one pile will go to the graveyard. And he says, yes, you can put all the lands into one pile. And one pile will go into the graveyard. And so I put all the lands into one pile, and he said, you're such a dumb kid. And he took the 5 lands. And then I played a Blood Oath, naming lands. So he died in 1 turn on his turn 4 before he untapped. He Factor Fiction hitting 5 lands. He had 2 lands in hand. And then I Blood Oathed him for 21, and he died. And he was so angry he just left. He dropped out of the tournament. And that was my first experience with Magic, and that was my first experience at a huge tournament. I didn't do great. I got like 5 wins. I was just on strict burn. But like, you can't bluff like that as an adult. That's a very young kid thing. That's a late stall for time. Interesting. This is gonna be an interesting deck. Like, this is a very fair deck compared to what I've been playing. I've been playing really busted decks. Alright, 1, 2. My combat research is solid here. It's going to draw me a lot of cards when I get to play it. Ooh, really late espionage. I like Shadow Prophecy, but I really only want the first copy most of the time. And I have enough 3s that this shore up's going to be better. 2 shore up is usually where I want to be. I usually read them to Twitter, but I have too many. Okay, I'll take a last pick Soaring Drake. I have too many stories, so I don't always get to tell them. But if there's another one you want to know, I'd tell you another. They're fun. It's fun for story prompts. Alright, so what do we got? 46 cards. Terror and Necromass are both likely to be 4 mana. I would have liked more Soul Tenders with this deck. Alright, card draw. So I'm going to divide these out a little. If you haven't seen me build a deck before, I like to divide things out based on what I'm going to be doing with them. So we full pivoted off of white. Cantrip. Removal. Make sure you... Okay, great. I count the geyser in the removal slot. And then this is card draw. And it's solid. But it doesn't do much in this deck. So I'm almost never going to kick the Illusionist, which means that I am less likely to run it. I'm going to put down... What's my game plan? My game plan is to put down flyers, get early damage in, kill their threats, draw cards. So this is a good classic control deck. 4 Drakes is probably too many. So I'm definitely running these 3 3-drops. And then I want to make sure that I have... that, like, every other 3-drop I get is a Drake, and 2 is probably where I'm comfortable. Throne is fine here. Terror and Necromancer are both actively good. Connoisseur is just fine. It's usually going to be a 5-mana 4/4 flyer, but that's usually what I want. I'm going to come down my Illusionists. We're just running 3 red sources for Solkanar. I can probably manage 2. But I want to kick my Mystics some of the time, so that'll be fine. Alright, so that puts me at a solid 15 creatures, which is a lot for a control. This is going to be a 7... I have more invasion. Let's see. I don't have a lot of good Apocalypse and Plane shit. So I didn't get to play. I drafted a lot of Invasion because that was when I got gift money and I used that money. But then I had to pay for myself in drafts for $15. Our drafts were only $12 back then. The drafts were only $12, and my allowance was only $3. So I got to draft once a month throughout Planeshift and Apocalypse, unless I won. And that's how I got so good at drafting, is just I didn't get to play unless I won. We were very poor. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The only card that I care about that counts instant sorceries is Valerian Terror. Yeah, that's such a cool card. I think I gave that in my set review. I gave it like an average of 2 or an average of 1, but a ceiling of like 6. If you can get it to work, please do. All right, I think Shadow Prophecy is my worst draw spell because usually my turn 3 isn't going to be Espionage, it's going to be a Rager or one of my other 3 drops. We come down 1 Prophecy. Not gonna be enough card draw. Like the question, so I think this is the deck, and the question here is Combat Research or Shadow Prophecy going to do more work for me? Let's see, I've got 2 flyers and a Haunting Figment. Okay, all of my creatures are pretty good at attacking. Then I've got some Soaring Drakes. This will work. So if this is your first time seeing me, I will run 41 cards in heavier control decks, because it means that I have more lands in my opening, but draw fewer over the course of the game. It's abusing the hand smoother in best of 1. Never run 41 cards in unless you're afraid of being milled, which can happen in some formats. In best of 3 in Arena. This probably does need to be a 17 land deck. I should be on 18 lands and 41 cards. Well, if I had a Vohar, I'd be more interested in that. Sorry, I'm going to revisit this. I should be on just 17 lands. At 1 shore up, I'm on 6 instants, 2 sorceries. Alright, I'm going to cut the Combat Research. So 41 cards. So in Arena Best of 1 specifically, there's a hand smooth, and the hand smoother draws 2 hands and gives you the hand with a better distribution of lands. So if you have like a 4-land hand and a 3-land hand, and it'll give you one of those. And so what we're doing when I run 17 lands and 41 cards is I am more likely to get a 3 or 4-land hand. Ooh. I'd say convincing nobody. I'm going to keep this. A swamp is huge, and being able to shore up my Mythic is pretty strong. It's kind of a risky keep. I need a swamp, but I have 4 turns to draw one. Not kicking you. So I just have to... If he kills it this turn, I probably lose. If he kills it this turn and I don't draw a swamp, I lose. Alright, Adam. The question is, do I shore up to block a mana worker and mess with his colors? Not when he's got 3 mana up. If I had 2 blue, I would. Oof, that's both my mountains. But at least he's going to think I'm a totally different deck. And a swamp still puts me way into this game because I can Solkanar. Yeah, that's worth protecting. Sometimes you just gotta keep your only creature alive, so you draw a swamp. And sometimes you just don't draw the swamp and lose. Can't believe I drew my second mountain before I drew one of my 9 swamps. Okay. End step, impulse for 1 mana is good. The Hadigen's a problem. I know I gotta find a way to kill it. Solkanar can put me back in this game. I can fall behind a bit, and Solkanar will get me there. Adam TW. Blocks. Like, the problem with falling behind on board against blue decks is Essence Scatter. Hadigen is so strong in this style of deck. Oh my god, alright. I can't even attack because of Shore Up. gonna let that happen this time. I'm gonna scatter his play. Rager. Then Solkanar. Ow. I have 2 turns to recover. We haven't lost yet. I'm gonna draw a swamp this turn. Still gonna draw a swamp this turn. Come on! There's so many black sources! This is what I get for keeping a hand without all my colors. I could kick the Mystic? Got 5, likely 6. A 3rd lightning strike would kill me. I don't have any luxury here. I'll go sometimes. We haven't lost yet. You think they're just a bad blue-red deck? Take 5. Lightning strike, I die. Swamp! I'm gonna play the Rager out so that I don't lose if he scatters it, because he's likely to have a scatter with this much mana up. If he has a removal spell, I need to be able to shore up. Drain 2. I can kill 1 creature. Gotta shore up or I'll die. Block to live. Then I need removal. And I run a lot of it. That'll do it. Wow. He had all the cards. I didn't get a swamp until 9 draws in. Good game. I said I had 4 turns. Right. There goes the streak. Alright, but we won enough games at number 2 that we keep it. Let's keep it going. And let me revisit my mana. And of course we know that the reason that it happened like this is that I didn't choose the right art on my lands. Alright, what are we feeling today? John Avon, Godzilla, Zendikar. First person who picks something is the land we use. Alright, me. I'm gonna be the first person to pick something. Godzilla lands. That puts us at 6. So 8 blue sources. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I should come down a mountain. Swamp? Yeah. So 8, 9. Alright. Took out 1 mountain. We'll get our red source. We're not going to play Solkanar on turn 5 usually. I mean, sometimes we will. But usually I'm going to have to just dig. Dig and dig. I am planning to end the stream in about 45 minutes. I was just hoping to hit number 1 first. This is a solid deck. We'll get there. The lore from Apocalypse was really good. So the Brothers' War is very going back in time. The whole point of time streams is that living beings can't go back in time. Come on. I mean, I guess other things can go back in time. They just, like, cause islands to explode when they do. Those books are so good. I wonder if people can actually get them anymore, or if they're, like, possible to find. I'm gonna look it up. Time travel just breaks so much. Holy crap. It's $5 on Kindle or $80 physical. I can keep this because I can impulse for my third land. Hey, bronze. Maybe. The fairies, like, so in time streams, the fairies, like, trapped in a slow time explosion. Alright, so I'm going to pass and pretend to have Essence Scatter. But really, I'm just going to impulse. Then we're going to Soul Tender. It's always nice when your opponent doesn't have a turn 2 play. Let's take the flyer. I'm going to try and play out all of my cards and then play the flyer. But that Rager makes it very difficult. We'll see. Aw, thanks, dog. I normally play out the Soul Tender, but I'm expecting him to jam 2 1/1s on my end step, which blocks the Soul Tender in ways I don't like. Nice to meet you, Bonsai. Hope you're having a good day, and thanks for being here. Alright, now I can keep up Shore Up. I'm still expecting you to play 2 1/1s. Timely interference in 2 lands, that's fine. Alright, he's 3 colors. He kept it on the Lightning Strike. I think I'm okay using a Shore Up to kill this. Especially if I'm going to Rager in the same... No, I'm just going to Geyser and play my Mythic. Blue, black, red. It's going to take me so long to get cards out of this Mythic. Attack first, Scuffle. Fundamentals. Good thing I didn't have the mana to pay for that, or I would have just auto-kicked it and I would have had to discard my hand. Thank you. I'm glad. I kind of am pleasantly surprised at how many people found the stream through Reddit. We'll draw a card first. Right, digging for threats. And normally I just jam the Espionage here, but I think I'm comfortable waiting a turn and kicking it just for that extra card advantage. I think he's really striving for the late game here. Domain tends to want the game to go really late, and if he's not Domain, I'm not that scared. But if he is Domain, I need to grind every last card that I can out of him. We know we're hitting something relevant because he missed a land drop. So he's playing every land he's got as he gets it. There's one of his rares, and there's a Bog Badger. Bog Badger is a cool card. Kicked. I meant to tap that in case because I have black 2-drops I wanted to draw. That is a very good question that I don't know that I can answer. Alright, Essence Scatter is great. It's exactly what I want here. You could have just blocked? Why don't people read this card? This is like the 3rd person I've played against who just tail swiped at instant speed. Let's scatter that. This card's scary. Flooding a little, but that's okay. I am 7, 8, 9. I have many lands deep into the deck, and Shoulder is a good draw. Lets me turn those cards into... I can turn these lands into a Rona later. I mean, I love 2-for-1s. That was definitely a 2-for-1. I don't think Joda works. I don't think you're going to get that to work ears. I will be willing to try, but I think 5-color needs to be more controlling. I am willing... Get in with Shoda. That's right. I play Mono Green Commander too, but mine is a Zusa, and it's land tribal. Every card in the deck has the word land on it. It is my pride and joy. Shore Up, you're so good. You need creatures to protect with Shore Up, but it's definitely worth a copy or two once you have those. Probably just picking up my Drake on end step to have another flyer. The Drake is important with Shore Up because it... Drake with... Oh, hello. That's interesting. Wrath is cool. Like, Wrath of God that you know is coming is really cool. I think I'd still just attack with Rona here. Recaster. The next turn, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana for the Soul Tender on their end step to get back Rager. And on my turn, it's recast Rona for 1, 2, 3, 4, recast Rager for 1, 2, 3, and Shore Up for 1, which means play a swamp. If you think about your next turn, you like knowing whether or not to play a land is important. So this is a Wrath, but it's sorcery speed, and he's gonna have to wipe his own board. Ooh, you know, I'm okay with this. I'll replay Rona, then he'll Karn Celix. 4, 7, 8, so 9 mana is what I'm looking for now. Keep your land. I now know I have nothing to play around. I don't have to do anything differently. So Karn Celix, Pernicious Deed, and Nevinyrral's Disc. And it goes... Ooh, that's a good question. Deed is definitely on top, but like Disc would still see play just on the fact that it doesn't kill Planeswalkers. Alright, you have to use this Silex. We're going for number 1, Demon Dad. Somebody else climbed ahead of me, so I gotta win a bunch in a row. Get number 1 back. If I swing out and he blocks here, he'll take 5 and go to 4. Means he has to pop this. But if I Rager first, I can and hit a removal spell, I can just kill them. Okay, that's fine. Thanks, Demon Dad. I hit number 1 once. I want to keep it. I got to get a bunch of wins at number 1 if I want to keep it. So this presents lethal next turn, because if he blocks Rona, he takes 4. So he has to either crack this now, or play a creature into the Celix. Knowing the Celix is coming is huge. Alright. Soul Tender, pick up my Rager. And I get to play the Rager. Ooh, that's better than the Necromass right now, because it flies, and if he kills the Rager, it becomes a 4/4. I'm going to leave an island for Shore Up. Everybody check out my demonic dad. Neat. I know he says he's your demonic dad, but he's my demonic dad. All right, still number 2. We gotta go again. How many wins am I gonna need at number 2 to hit number 1? Thank you. Thanks for the look, dog. Dog is the one who made a lot of these emotes. Miss Shay made this first one. Dog made a lot of them. And Janelle Senpai made most of the artwork. She made my profile picture and my model. But you can get some of them just for being here. You get some of them for subscriber. Yeah, I think it's like 2 to 1. But I think like when I hit rank 1, I didn't get any wins after that. Let's see where. I'd probably go on Reddit and find out. But this deck is solid. Sam Black famously during Neon Dynasty. So I was trapped at number 5 in Neon Dynasty at the height of that format. Ooh, I can keep this. Knight, I know I'm short blue, but I've got enough 2-drops to buy me time. And Spider Goblin buys so much time. So Sam Black had, since he led on an island, I'm not playing the Spider Goblin, I'm playing the Knight. I'd rather he Essence Scatter the Spider Goblin, the Knight of Dusk Shadow. You don't know that he's an Angrath enjoyer just because his avatar is an Angrath. Maybe he hates Angrath and hates himself. Very sad, it's a tragedy. We didn't get more Tangarth. There's no Tangarth reference in that. Alright, if I swing with both, then I get to trade the Spider Goblin somewhere. If he double blocks, I contribute to keep it alive. Okay. Gonna kill the Soaring Drake. Alright, there's an ad about to start, everybody. Sorry. I'm gonna let it play and hopefully have an island by the end of it. I'll get that. Don't you worry. Ready. Ooh, shore up. Flaming Geyser is really good. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It does feel like I'm fighting against my own deck in these matches. Like, even the game I won, I drew 14 of my lands. It's the Rona. Not gonna land this game. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've had Island. I assume he's got an Essence Scatter. It doesn't really matter. I'm still just attacking. Putting down a Soaring Drake. Scatters, he scatters. Attacks, he protects. Yeah, the fact that he untapped with this means I probably lose. I really thought I'd get an island within 6 turns. I did not. Turn 7, though. Turn 7 was it for me. So he's got 6 in the air. I can't afford to take a life. Feels bad. What are my outs here? Got a block. I can impulse for an island. I just put down the Mythic and hope he doesn't have anything. I'll block to live. If he has a lightning strike, I'm dead. But I'm not out. That's fine. That's fine. If he had only put down one body, I'd be okay this turn. I'm at essentially 1, so I can play down the Necromass. It doesn't do it. I can impulse. I don't have any hits. Damn. Loading up an island to bluff a Rona's Vortex? Huh. Oh my god. I just lost to such a bad... I mean, it wasn't that bad deck, but like he was running very low quality cards. Alright, we gotta keep it going. Guy is so cool. I don't mind Angrath. I was just presenting a possibility. This deck feels so strong! Why can't I get a win? Okay. I'll get my losses in a row, and then all my wins in a row. I'll mulligan a little more aggressively for my colors. Yeah, so far, I haven't gotten my colors in 4 of the hands, and then the game that I won, I drew 14 lands. Does lend credence to the Wizards is cursing me theory. Which I do not subscribe to. Wizards doesn't do that. Alright, I have all my colors. 2-drop, 3-drop. Let's go. Graventura is so good together. This guy just can be scary on turn 1. Let's see how strong their defender's build is. The Essence Scatter does fine. That's a fair use of Essence Scatter. The game 1 keep, I don't feel too bad about. I do appreciate you telling me that you don't have another Scatter anywhere, or a Negate, or any 2-mana spell. Aww. Makes this Tribute to Urborg a lot worse. This card is so good. Huh. That is a bit of a surprise. Oh, Impulse main phase? Yeah, I have a lot of good 2-drops I can hit. Rona or Rager? I think I just want the Rona for size. I got a 3/3. Yeah, I want to get the Rona down so that I can make him block. I'm gonna take 3 to 6 damage here. Gia Bear, it was really nice to meet you. Come back anytime. Their wall. Probably getting, yep, the chaplain. I just gotta grind through it. I don't have 2 black, I'm so bad. Alright, I just gotta grind it out. Full control. I'll let it resolve. With the ability on the stack, I'll kick the tribute to kill it. Means he only gets 2 birds. Now timely. There we go. Now I can play Rona. And a Splatter Goblin. Oh, I only have 2 black sources. Never mind. I am not a mistake-free drafter. Oh no. Got the bombs. Oh, hey, I have the bombs. Begin with Rona first. Neat. I really want to play my Phyrexian Espionage. He thinks it's okay to let me play the Espionage because he has this Defiler of Dreams, but I get to kill the Defiler. Alright. Still number 2, though. Some people don't want to deal with Solkanar. I think people don't always read the last line of text on Solkanar, which is if they survive it for 3 turns, they get it. Hey, Truths. Nice to meet you. Yeah. I get it. I do feel like I don't have quite enough ways to deal with my own Solkanar. But it's a, 3 turns of attacking is a lot. Pretty high risk card because I don't have any sack outlets. I could run the amplifier to reset it. I have 1 geyser on it. Cool. Welcome back. Thank you. Thank you. I was surprised at how many people came over from Reddit. It's very cool. I'll spend more time. They told me I can only post once a week, but I will try to get my content up there once a week. I like to highlight my matches. I've just been very busy because all my extra time has been going to this. But I'm only planning on drafting another 15 minutes or so. So I do hope I can hit number 1 in that time. Yeah, somebody else, also a Redditor, passed me. I gotta catch up again. I am ready. Let's do it. Welcome, welcome. We're number 2. We're number 2 with 3 wins. This set is really cool. I'm so glad. Well, please ask any questions you have. If you want a story about a specific card, let me know. We're in a solidly... hang on. Let me find him. He's we played against him once or twice. I have so many notifications. Okay. This is also my most upvoted Reddit post. Most people are very cool. People said that I should upgrade my mic, and alright, Run Home is his name. Run Home passed me. I think this is a different person now. So this is kind of a slow hand, but Scatter is nice. I actually prefer, so if you have a deck full of Essence Scatters, oh yeah! So thank you, Ears, I appreciate that. You can do, I do coaching. I'm just gonna Splatter Goblin, because I'd rather scatter the 3-drop than the 2-drop. Well, thanks. I am conscious of that, because my hearing is not very good. So I take feedback on it seriously. Oh! Thank you, Pankatsu. I'm gonna fix that. I can fix that, like, without changing anything. I just don't want you hearing random noises. I mean, I'll make this trade every time. He blocks, I get to give this -1/-1. The reason that this card is so... This is a really... Also, nice to meet you. Thank you, Panketsu. The reason that this set is so hard is because you can't... Like, for SNC, I might say something like, take white. If you aren't sure what to do, take a white card. And that doesn't work in this format. Everything is so contextual in this format, that a lot of the things that you would normally do just don't work. I'm just gonna keep pressure on with another Drake, and then I'm gonna start holding up Tribute and Scatter on the same time. At the same time, like, he wasn't willing to attack this turn, so we'll learn a lot about what he has in his hand by how he attacks this turn. Like, this format is really good for people who've been playing for a long time. That's fine. I'm taking it. Although that is exactly who I wanted to Essence Scatter. I don't want to give him that card. Alright, so if I attack with everything, he's going to block here to shoot me. Or not at all. So if he blocks not at all, he takes 6 and hits me for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage and puts me to 6. That's more damage than I want to take. So I'm going to leave back the Splatter Goblin to block the Garna. And that way, I can hold up Essence Scatter, and even if he has a removal spell from a Splatter Goblin, I can Tribute after giving it -1/-1. The cards are straightforward, but like this is as straightforward as a card can be. But like, they add up in complex and interesting ways. Alright. 4, 5. I'll just block here. Yeah, right? I might still Tribute this turn, but right now I have him on a 3-turn clock. No. And as long as we're here, because I would really like to Phyrexian Espionage on my turn. Or just if I Tolarian Terror if I draw a land. Nope, we're just gonna Espionage. See what I hit. I can Tolarian Terror next turn. Tolarian Terror is just excellent. Splatter Goblin is so good in this format. Like, I was really stunned at how well, because I played it as filler, you know? And then it just completely overperformed. So I can swing out, but then I risk him killing me. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage coming back, which means 1 removal spell will do it. So I'm just going to put him to 3 this turn. And Tributary and Terror. So even if he taps out to kill the Terror, because like that's the reason the Terror is so good. It's because he can kill it. Maybe he has an Extinguished Light, but he has to tap out to do it. So I can predict what he's going to do. The Drakes are really good. 3 damage for a 2/3 flyer is huge in this format. But he needs to answer a Drake or kill me right now. Phoenix Chick is a little weak. Like, you have to be so aggressive. But like, this is a deck for Phoenix Chick and Cult Conscript and the... Who's the other one? But I get a Sulkanar, and one of the modes on Sulkanar is your opponent loses 2 life. No blocks? I don't think he can get 6 extra damage out of this. If he had 4 mana, I would have blocked this because he could Furious Bellow it to give it +3/+0 and double strike it. So knowing the tricks is very helpful. You have the removal spell. He does. Sort of. Opponent loses 2 life. Thank you, Sulkanar. That was scary. Like, if I didn't have Sulkanar there... Alright, still number 2. We're 3-0. Or that was only 3 wins in a row. So number 2. So there was for a long time. Sorry, I know I've been jumping around stories a lot. For a long time, Sam Black and some guy who, like, he didn't have a public persona, no one knew him. He just drafted nonstop. And Sam Black went like 21-2. He got 21 wins and did not break into number 1. Yeah, Splatter Goblin's so good in this format. Like, there's so many small creatures it kills. And this is just a solid blue-black deck, and I'm only running red for Kickers and Sulkanar. Yeah, the Drakes are great. Drakes are just kind of what you want at 3 mana. Like, there's better... Like, I'm playing 5 3-drops, and I have a playset of Drakes, and it hurt to cut 2 Drakes. I should probably be on more than 2. So, the downside is huge. But the thing about Sulkanar is that he's a 5/5 for 5. Like, yeah, your opponent gets him after 3 turns, but they have to survive being bashed by a 5/5 3 times. Like, you get 3 attacks before Sulkanar gets in, and you also get to draw a card off. So, like, generally, Sulkanar will do his thing. Like, he's usually a 2-for-1. He's usually a very good 5-drop, but sometimes he wins games. Like, he doesn't usually say, I win the game when I play him, but he's a huge threat that your opponent has to deal with. Compare him to a Planeswalker. You should think of him like a Planeswalker. Like, yeah, it does a lot of work, but it doesn't win the game outright. Your opponent has a chance to deal with him. I have not had them getting him, like, come up yet. The slightly slow hand is a little bit weak, but I have all my colors and a lot to do. So this is a very nitpicky thing, but don't lead it on an island. Because if you lead it on an island and they play a creature, then they'll know you have Shore Up by the delay. They'll also know that you run Essence Scatter and play accordingly. Like, I'm probably scattering his 2-drop. But I think about when you want to play Essence Scatter. Like, nice. Your Essence Scatters are important. If you are like a heavy Essence Scatter deck, blue-red, you play aggressive. You play your Essence Scatters aggressively. That's really terrifying. All right, that's the first time I've been like blown out by a Banal Ash Sleeper. All right, so I'm just gonna scatter this turn and jam Sulkanar. Ow. Oh my god, I can't Essence Scatter. This defeats me. I don't think I can beat this. I'm gonna put down Sulkanar and hope for the best. I think it's more important that I draw a card this turn than shoot a creature. Yeah, so this is where Sulkanar is bad, when he's the first thing you play to the board. My opponent's gonna chump block him 3 times and get him. Yes, this was a perfect card. Turn 2, turn 3, turn 4. Terrifying. And in turn 4, I didn't get to Essence Scatter. I still need to attack with Sulkanar. I think he's just going to chump block, but then I get to Shore Up to block the Phalanx. Yeah, this is a perfect start. Like, he only spent 1 mana on this Phalanx. Oh, yes. Alright, that means I get to reset my own Sulkanar at least. Alright, Geyser is huge here. I need 8 mana. Alright, end turn. Deal 3 damage. I'm just gonna shoot down the Baird. So if he has a heroic charge here, I'm dying. That's 12 damage. Heroic charge is lethal. And is perfect also. It means that he had exactly every card he needed to win this whole game. Oh my god, alright. We're still number 2. Alright, looks like... Oh, wow. Immediately lost 5 viewers for that loss. think I gotta call it there. Yeah, sometimes they just have it. If they didn't, we would have been okay there because I could have geysered. So we are at 3-3. All right, I'm gonna do one more draft. I'm not gonna have time to play it out. So we're just gonna do one more draft portion. I'm not gonna be able to play it. Let's go again. He had it. It's okay. 9:30 was my line, so at 9:30, and we're gonna raid my friend Sandy tonight. And just as a heads up, she is not she is an MTG player. She's not playing MTG today, because she hit 1,000 followers and is doing her first 24-hour stream. And she's like an exercise fanatic, so I don't know how she is alive. But it'll be fun. She's very high energy. But so my next MTG stream, I'll probably, like, sometimes I'll hop on after work and do a couple hours if I can. I work 2 jobs, so I stream whenever I can. But Sunday, I'm doing Eternal card game, which is a great draft format. I just like drafting. And then that'll lead into an Everdell teaching stream. So if you want to learn to play Everdell, this will be a great time. It'll be a lot of fun. I love that game. That game is as cute as MTG can be. Laciani, thanks for the subscription. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It means a lot. Plus, it says I love you at the top now. Ooh. Rada's Firebrand, Cut Down, or Wrath. I think it's Rada's Firebrand. Both of these are very tempting. Like, it's just a matter of what deck I like to play. But Rada's Firebrand is about as good as... It's about as good a 2-drop as you can hope for in an aggressive deck. I'm gonna take her over the Wrath because she commits me less. You don't need full domain on Rada's Firebrand. I should have looked at the rest of the pack to table. I was just thinking, oh, all right. What uncommon would I take over the Beast Caller? There's actually a lot of the legendary creatures. So the Beast Caller is a 2-mana 2/2 that just grows. So what we're gonna do here is go for a domain stompy deck, which I'm pretty happy to see. So looking at this pack, Essence Scatter, Tolarian Terror gets snapped up. The Scavenger and Amplifier probably get snapped up, and Bite Down is the green pick. So we might get a Vine Shaper Prodigy out of here, but we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 solid cards in here. So I'll get a white card or a Toxic Abomination back. So nothing I really need, but you need lots of duels to make this work. The red-green Stompy is great, and it tends to win with Lightning Strike, awesome. So Ellis Ilkor is an uncommon I'd first pick a lot of the time. So this is a little different than my usual domain deck because we are domain stompy. We want to get the kills in. So rather than just play all the good cards, we are playing all of the creatures that punch. That I think of it as punch. They punch through. So the question here is, do I take a creature now or a land? And the trick to domain is that you'll get the creatures. The creatures will come. We're taking a land. Like, once you are in 5 colors, all of your creatures are good. The key creatures are like your 2s that grow. The Rada's Firebrand and the Root Wall and the Corrin Beast Caller. And then you're going to punch through with trample damage and big creatures. And you're going to use the Outriders and Gaia's Might to get surprise kills. But the Beast Caller is kind of a special, efficient rare. It's just a lot of power that's hard to deal with. You need as many creatures as you can get that react to removal differently. If that makes sense. So, like, this one, if it gets bounced or exiled, doesn't matter. This one is really hard to kill with the burn spell. Glad it interests. Alright, Bog Badger is great. Red, green. You want this, take up the shield. Bog Badger is good, like it's a finisher. I kind of want it more than a land here. I'm supposed to take a land. Red, white, black, white. I'm gonna take the double off-color duel. Keep track of your lands. Like, this bit's hard. Blue-red. Okay, so Elflame Worm and Urborg Repossession are both fairly important to the style of deck. I'm going to take the Urborg Repossession. So the trick is, you want Urborg Repossession when you have cheap cards. Yes. But you want your domain to be sort of incidental. You don't want to have to put a lot of work into it. I've been taking the Repossession earlier. Ideally, we wouldn't have to, but it's really important to the deck, and people seem to take it really aggressively. But you take Urborg Repossession when you get to play it and then redeploy threats in the same turn, which right now I can do that. Ooh. Cheer up, emo kids. Thanks for the follow. I think it's take up the shield here, but like this is a late enough Talarian Terror to accept it as a signal, and I will get effects of like take up the shield also. But take up the shield to keep my attackers alive is normally a little bit better. So as a rule, and there's only a few rules in this, you can play any color creature as long as it is 5 mana or more. You want to focus on 2 colors until you get to 5 mana. And then you can play any color creature you want. Land. Griffin Protector is solid. Get you Amplifier is good. Protect the Negotiators is great. But land. And you have to take your lands pretty aggressively. So, Domain... There's 2 ways to draft Domain. Ooh. Red-green or green-white. It's actually going to be the outright. So, like, this style of deck, we can punch through early and finish them off with Outrider damage. And the Outrider is nice, so that's in a situation where we have 2 or 3 Outriders. Wow, that's a really late Essence Scatter. I'll take that. So in a situation where you have 2 or 3 as Outriders, you can... Ooh, Sojourner or Amplifier. I'm going to take the Sojourner, but that's a late Amplifier. Sojourner is kind of weird because, like, it's the worst of this chain, and even in the Domain deck. Bog Badger, Beachfront. Damn it, I want that Bog Badger. I have to take the Beachfront before I get tempted. Fire NATO, like, there's a non-zero chance we play this. You do not want to play Fire NATO. You don't want to have this card in your deck. But sometimes you're going to have to anyway. Molten Tributary. This isn't really a Dragon Whelp deck. Or Bog Badger. But based on what other people have taken, I'm going to assume Bog Badger will table and the land won't. Like, we won, like, 8 lands. So the Sojourner is good when I can go turn 1... Turn 1, Radiant Grove. Turn 2, Sunlit Marsh. Turn 3, Basic Land. This card's a bomb in white-black. This card is fine. You want something good to get back. We have a few options. But don't pass Lightning Strike if you can use it. Lightning Strike doesn't table, and it always does something you want. Here is a tougher pick. Root Wallet, Tear Asunder, or a land. And I'm very interested in the Root Wallet, but hard removal is important to have access to. Magnagoth Sentry, like, it's fine. You would rather have, like, stronger 5-drops. But I'm taking Tear Asunder because we just need removal. You got to make sure you can answer what your opponent is doing. And Tear Asunder is nice because, like, the splash is black. Relic of Legends is fine. I found Deathbloom Gardener to be a trap, mainly because of Infiltration. Alright, so blue, blue, green, green. So I'm not going to worry about getting red and green because those are my base colors. But red, green, so I've got 1 white, 2 white, 3 white, 1 blue, 2 blue. So I'm going to take the Isle. Ooh. You really like Soul Tender in this style of deck? I could take the Chaplain. It's a little wild to take the Chaplain in such a stompy deck. So, Tangled Isle or Strike Team. And I actually really like Strike Team in this deck. Branch Rider's fine. But Strike Team will come down on turn 3 as a haste creature to attack with Sticks off of either of my 2-drops. And in the late game, I get to kick it. Tail Swipe. Awesome. I'm taking Tail Swipe over Root Wallet, but it's really close. The Root Wallet is great. Tail Swipe is nice because so much of the time, you need to play... Yeah, sometimes having a 4-6 on turn 3 is just good enough. So, Tail Swipe is nice in this format. because a lot of the time you're reducing the cost of your creatures, like with the Sojourner. Like on turn, I might not be able to play the Sojourner on turn 3, and then on turn 4 I play a 2-land duel, or just a basic, and then I can play it for 3 mana and have up the Tail Swipe. So it lets you recover the tempo you get from your tapped lands. Tail Swipe over Bite. There's a few reasons for that. Being 1 mana is very different from being 2 mana. The +1/+1 lets you trade up on your 2/2s, and the fact that it's 1 mana means you can get it with a Micromancer. No, I would much so that's not true. I play them, but I will always take a tapped land over a card that fetches a tapped land. Not 100% of the time, but often. Espionage is solid here. The Steel Crusher is pretty good in this style of deck, just because I end up with lots of, thick fronts with no asses. I want Outriders. I think it's a little too early for the Magnagoth Sentry. Espionage is good. I'll take the Espionage. I could use 1 copy of that. Alright, so this is the last pack I'm going to... Dang it, it did the thing. This is a fine card. It's not great, mainly because you don't want to be running the cards that make it good. So, like, you don't want to be playing a Swamp in this deck. You want to get that from your duel. Hurler Cyclops can be good. I'm just going to take the Scout anyway. Can't remember what was here. Yeah, you just want to play your tap lands. The thing is, your tap lands, like I've got 6 tap lands. I expect him to play 7 or 8. But your tap lands slow you down. Like, they make you so slow that you can't afford to take turns off to do things like Scout the Wilderness or play Slimefoot Survey. Scout the Wilderness is a little bit special. Yes, Badger. Badger is really good because you want a 3 mana for 3/3. You want a 3 mana 3/3 for only 1 green pip. But if you draw it late in the game, giving your Tolarian Terrors and Outriders and Sojourners will often win you the game. If he weren't here, I'd be pretty happy to take Queen All in All or Phyrexian Espionage. Ooh. Broken Wings or Relic of Legends. I haven't really gotten the Relic to work. I'd rather have Scout the Wilderness just because it does more late. I'll take Broken Wings and hopefully not have to play it. Ruwall Tabled. Yes. The card's a beast. And there's another Espionage. Thank you, Emo Kid. How'd you find me, by the way? Are you here from Reddit? I'm glad if you are. I'll make more of an effort on Reddit. Ooh. How good is this card with no blue permanents? It's not good enough. We're taking the Sprouting Goblin over to Fire Dreams. Sprouting Goblin is just really good. A 2-mana 2/2 that lets you turn your extra lands into cards is great. And a 2-mana 2/2 that gets you a basic land. Not even a basic land. A land with a basic land type is great. I might table the Outrider here because black, it takes... So, blue, black pick, green pick, red, white pick. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 solid picks. Plus a Bite Down. So I'll get either Bite Down or Mary's Outrider back out of this pack. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I do like teaching. I really want this Flowstone Infusion as just early interaction, but I think I want lands more. I'm at white, 2, 3 white, 3 blue. I'm not worried about red or green because I'm running forests and mountains. I'm even on white and blue, but I have actual blue spells. So I'm taking the Tributary over the Flowstone Infusion and the Urborg Repossession because I did get the copy I needed of that. Tatiova. So I don't like Tatiova in every deck. I like her in this deck because you just want to keep playing lands and she gives you... Oh, but his Gaia's Might better here. No, this is a very aggressive deck. I'm not getting to turn 8. I'm taking the Gaia's Might. I would also be interested in this Tolarian Geyser. The Gaia's Might doesn't need to give +5/+5 to be great. It needs to give +3/+3 or more. But I'm glad you're here, Cheer Up. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I like questions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lands. So I'm at 22 cards. So right now I do have to play the Fire NATO, but anything I grab, I get to make a cut for. Lightning Strike. Taking Lightning Strike over lots of very average cards and an Eerie Soul Tender, which is very good. I need black duels. I didn't get any black duels. Means I probably have to run a swamp to get with Scout the Wilderness. I'll take another Root Walla. Means I get to cut this Branch Bender and this Picker, both of which I think are fine cards. They're just the weakest cards I have right now. Colossal Growth I've been using as a finisher a lot of the time. Just to give Sunbathing Root Walla or Rada's Firebrand trample at a key moment. If this were a red duel, I'd take it. But I have 1, 2, 3 white sources and 1, 2, 3, 4 blue sources. I'm going to use Colossal Growth to win. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 non-creature spells, 11 non-creatures. I'll come down 1. Maybe I come down both Espionage. I love Warhost's Frenzy. The deck for Warhost's Frenzy. Black is the hardest color for me to make. You have to be able to kick the Frenzy for it to be strong. It's really good if you can kick it, though. That's really the only color I can't have reliably. I'll take out an Amplifier. This is a good Amplifier deck. If I can kick it, I'm just going to treat it as a 5-drop. Third Root Walla or first Elf Flame Worm, I could use. I'm taking the Elf Flame Worm over the Root Walla just because my 2s are great. And so I will probably not run the Elf Flame Worm if this next pack has the Outrider. I don't have such few creatures though. I have 1, 2, like I am keeping very careful count of my creatures. I'm at 5. The Outrider table. So did this. I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 creatures. Like 12 is fine. And I was planning to table this Outrider. So that's my 13th creature, and it does beat the Worm. Maybe it just beats the Amplifier. Hey Broly. You excited for that new DBZ? I think it is the Amplifier here. Ooh, I did not expect the Flowstone Infusion to table. That was an like, somebody is playing red and should not have let this come back around. Mana Worker probably doesn't make the cut, just I don't seem to need it. Take another Espionage. This card is too good for how many copies I get. I may end up running a Picker over an Espionage. We'll see how this deck looks. I'm at 4, 5, 6, 7 lands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the half. I like Thrill in the blue-red deck. No one else on blue-red. So, like, what I'm looking at is how I win this game. When I make those decisions, I am trying to win. Like, you need a plan to win from the beginning. Nice thing about Domain is you get to build your deck as you go. So, on average, this is going to be a 4-mana creature. So, Domain, you have to rearrange creatures, rearrange everything, based on where it's going to get played, okay? I know that's weird, but it's going to really help you a lot. So removal is over here because that's a separate thing. But the Domain, like Gaia's Might and Tail Swipe, will usually let me play 2 spells in the same turn. Is that all my non-creature spells? Colossal Growth is a fine trick, but I'm planning to use it to actually win the game most of the time. Because if I turn this into a 7/7, give it +4/+4, and they just chump blocked it, because that's usually what they do with the Root Walls, is they block with their single soldiers. That's 10 damage I get to trample for. My 2s are really good, but I usually want to kick the Sprouting Goblin. I usually want to kick the Badger. I usually want to kick the Strike Team. But this Sojourner and this Terror are usually going to be 3 and 4 mana. 3 and 4 mana. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 non-creature spells, and they're all instants and swords. This is a 17-land deck. I think Espionage is my worst blue card. I do like it, but I'm not going to be able to play it on turn 3 most of the time. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 blue spells. Alright. So I need to keep 1 Swamp. And I'll usually get that with my Scout the Wilderness. This is solid. I think this is good. Okay, that was quick. I'm going to play one game. Last game. Then we're going to go raid Sandy. You mean in real life? I have neither. I have a Commander 2014 deck. I have a big pile of sealed Commander decks. Eventually, I'll come up with an event to give them away. That depends on the domain deck. So there's sort of 3 versions of the domain deck. So the first is control, and that's the one that you will end up in most often because like, and it means that you were picking your duels early. That deck doesn't need as many, like 4 or 5. And that's so cards like the 6 mana 4/4 that brings back a creature, or that's the one you'll end up in if you have like a bomb, something like Herd Migration. There's this one. This is Stompy. It's a little bit more aggressive. This deck needs a plan to win, and you want to try and figure out how you want to count to 20 is what I think of it. So no green sources. That sucks. Throw it back. All right, this is better. All right. Red, green, white. I'm gonna put back the Root Walla. I have the Beast Collar. No, I'm gonna put back Flowstone Infusion and be sad about it. Ooh, I like Holly of the Vast. And then there's the Domain Good Stuff. That one should have the most because that one is just trying to play a few specific cards. The red, green, white. I need one more color to play the Sojourner. I'm just going to open on the Beast Collar before he has Essence Scatter mana up. If I were on the draw here, I would have opened on the Root Walla. Because this way, even if he counters my Root Walla, I still get the trigger. So you can counter the Root Walla, but I still have a 3/3 attacker. The specifics are going to change a bit. There's the Scatter. But it's more important to get your... It's more important to cast your spells. Like, this deck doesn't really need that many. Because all of my red, green, and green... All my 2s and 3s are red and green. Need to cast... There we go. I can play it next turn. That's good enough for now. The next turn I'll probably tap out for the Sojourner, but let's see what he does. I think he just wants to bounce my Beast Collar. Ah, Figment. Ah, 2 Figment. The nice thing about the Sojourner is it's helpful on curve, because even if you draw a tap land, they'll punch through. He probably double blocks. Oh, okay. So he wants to race, and he's on mono blue. Mono blue, we saw mono blue a lot at the beginning, but people have caught on to how good blue is, so we're seeing it a lot less. Trick to beating mono blue is getting a head on board early, and cards like this Beast Collar are really helpful. And I just want to keep down 2 creatures. Alright, he's not mono blue, but he is attacking me for 6 a turn. So I'm going to go for lethal as quick as I can. White, blue, green, red. So my domain is 4. I'm missing just black. I'm going to attack with both and see how he blocks, because I can give something trample at instant speed and lightning strike. He's stalling for time? That's so lame. Got 6 damage coming in, but I can respond to a pump spell with a lightning strike. And go for lethal next turn, especially if he taps out. I'm going to take this. So if I put him to 8, I can give +4/+4 and trample to something different. So 4, 5, 6. You can put 6 toughness in front of this. And if I kick a Colossal Growth and Gaia's Might, I give +8/+8. That's 12. So if he triple blocks, I can kill everything. That's how you know it's a good set. Alright, we're going for it. I don't have a choice because he's just too far ahead and I'm out of cards. Go, he blocks. Alright, that's how I want him to block. Let's see if he blocks with everything. Kick a Colossal Growth. Got his Might. Trample over for 11. Awesome. Play to your outs. Sometimes your outs are just blow your whole load onto one creature. All right, everybody. It looks like I got to stop at number 2 tonight. I will do my best not to draft anymore. Well, I'll do like premier, or I'll do traditional drafts, let's say. But just until I get to stream again. Oh, you know what? I forgot to show everybody. So what I have, so some point redemptions. So coaching is very popular. I wanted to talk to, because I have some new people here today. So coaching is popular, and I just it's just channel points. I would coach you for free, but I like knowing that people have gotten some fundamentals first. But if you are interested in coaching, take some screenshots of your decks. I like looking at what you've done and figuring out what we can work on. So if you are a great drafter and you know your fundamentals and you just need to get cards to table, or you need to steal wins that you might otherwise have lost, or recover from mistakes. I make so many mistakes and I'm great at recovering from them. Then I can work on that. If you want me to upgrade your commander deck, oh, thanks for the follow. So if you want me to upgrade your commander deck, that's my most expensive thing, and that's because you can send me your deck list, and I will send you cards you've never seen before to make your deck more interesting, not necessarily better. You can choose the deck I play. Oh, and then I forgot to show people, I have unlimited cards. That's the life of a drafter. So like, if I want to, I don't know, get more gems, then I can open 10 packs of Kamigawa. And since I drafted that set to completion, I only open gems, and it gives me all wild cards, which means that if you have a deck that you want to see played, I'm very good at brewing, at getting decks built. It's only, 7,000 points? 5,000 points. It's usually going to be 7,000 points, but it's 5,000 points right now. And if you redeem deck design, I will build... Oh, nice. So you can get a pack just buying it, and I will ship you a pack. Or you can duel me for a pack on stream, which is also fun and less than half the price. But if you want a deck built, if you have an idea for a deck or a deck list and you want to know if it works, you can redeem that, and I will build it, and I will test it, and I will tune it, and I will get it running. Most recently, Ears wanted to see a domain deck. You get to pick the format for the duel, any format on Arena. Or I'll duel in other games, but I have to approve non-arena duels. So Ears wanted a domain deck built, and this is what I'm working on. And I just realized I need to up the Plaza of Heroes count and cut probably basics. I need green on turn 1. I'm distracting myself now. Yeah. And I'm just supposed to be on 4 plazas. This deck's been working. And I'm going to cut one drag, or move one drag to the bottom of the side. I need to up the leyline bindings. I wanted to do that swap. And I wanted to move one drag to the bottom to the board for... I wanted to try Ren and 7. So we're still in the testing phase. So I do want to try Ren and 7. But I'm running more singletons for Dig Up. And I'm running Dig Up over Cruelty of Gix, which may have to change. But yes, you get to pick the format for the duel. And usually Mondays, but generally I'll pick a few extra days. If there's a day you can't do, just message me. But yeah, a lot of these decks are just people want me to fix up their deck. Okami's got one in here. I have to delete a whole bunch. I like doing this. It's not necessarily for money. Streaming is my hobby, and I do appreciate all the subscriptions. Any money you give me goes back into this stream. So I buy games or put it into Arena, things like that. Upgrade my mic. I only have one monitor. Yeah. And we're going to go ahead and raid my friend Sandy. And she's on a partner push right now. But I'll be around for a while. And I like Magic. And I will see all of you later. Thanks, Dajabu. It's really good to see you. And Commando, thanks for the follow. This was a dynamite day for follows. You are all wonderful people. Thank you for being here. You're welcome, Chuck. You have 10 seconds left if you have any other questions you want to ask me. Playing Smash right now if anyone wants to join her. I might play a game with her. Alright, good night, everybody. You have... Oh, I have a Discord. I should post that. So we mostly just use it to chat and talk about Magic, but it's the best place to go if you want MTG help. I didn't mean to unraid. So if you want help with your MTG deck, go ahead and join us. That includes drafts. I try and help everybody I can through my Discord. No pressure. I am a zero pressure community. Or I represent one. Alright. Good night, everybody. It was really nice to meet all of you. I will see you hopefully on Sunday, but if not, my next MTG stream is either going to be a random pickup one like this or Monday night. See everyone later.
Hey, Scruffle! I'm dying a lot.